So let's talk about, setting and how that can influence your design and how that's going to influence just the whole vibe of your game. When it came to the Crypt has opened, very early on, I wanted the feeling of like the Crypt is opened and that early 90s, mid 90s feeling to it. And that became really kind of the foundation for everything. So I was like, okay, well, now how do I go out and I'm going to start looking for inspiration? And that's when I landed on jumping into Wizard magazine, and specifically in the 90s. This is a 1993 copy of Wizard magazine I got off of eBay, and this is what I've been using for inspiration when designing ads and ad copy. Like one of the things here you go, is this sludge. Like look at that ad. Look at this ad over here. They're not really well laid out. There's a lot of problems with it from modern design sensibilities, but they've been a great inspiration to get that feeling. So if you look at the ad I made for the Crypt is Open for the open play test, I really wanted to make it feel like 90s. And we got the 90s pop culture and those really, big, bold letters. We've got some kind of bad, what do you call it, gradients and that kind of stuff. And what I also love about the 90s is we're starting to get into those like computer aided like marble backgrounds and designs, and it's really bad chrome and just a bunch of stuff like that, but it's been really cool. And what I've also noticed is everything's probably like 3 columns in the actual magazine itself, so that's going to be a huge inspiration and kind of an art direction for the Crypt is Open as we begin laying this book out, because I want it to feel like when you pick up the Crypt is Open as if you're picking up a trade magazine and not necessarily an RPG book. Now we are going to have to give some concessions to make sure it's laid out in such a way that it's easy to understand as a game manual, but we still want to invoke that feeling of the early 90s and that trade magazine. So when you're designing stuff, what do you feel that comes first? Is it the mechanics that inform the design, or is it the design that informs the mechanics? So I'd love to hear how things work for you.